This is why you like to ask before you start. See, I'm all out of my sorts because he asked if we could push till 9 p.m. because he was at a track rental at the track with the El Camino, and he's like, hey, can I get till like 9? I should be home, you know, before 9 o'clock. And then, sorry, I'm catching up on a lot of stuff here. So then he's like, hey, I got time. I was just talking to him. He's like, I got plenty of time to make another pass before the radio show. So what does he do? He breaks the transmission on the El Camino. So he's like, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get home. Is that okay, dude? I'm like, yeah, you have to go home. If you can still make it on the show, that would be awesome. But, you know, I'm not going to. Okay, it does work. Okay, everything else is good. Yeah, I liked when people were like, a giraffe and a raccoon. This is going to be interesting. Yes, Mustang. I was just going to break into that. I'm going to start doing some videos on it soon. I just got a bunch of the chassis work done by the Nelsons, and I said, like, I keep saying I'm doing fleet maintenance on the other cars, but it's pretty serious when you have 12. There's some that had some, like, ups and downs and stuff we had to figure out. Jamie has a new project that we were trying to figure out what to do with it, and just tore it apart. She's going to upload a video in like a day or two, but I want to start mounting the accessories on it, and I bought all the stuff to do a battery relocation. So I think it would be smart for me to put the battery in the trunk and get the power wires in and start wiring stuff to it while I'm doing everything else, because then you can key on and off and check things, and I can move my power windows and whatnot, and then I can get a good idea on where to run everything. And then once the accessories are on the car, I'm going to have a guy local here, Tim Weeks. I'm going to have him do turbo kit stuff because everything else is so pretty. I'm nervous to make stuff on my own now. And which is why I had the Nelsons do the chassis work, because they're fantastic at it. So I had them do that. What's the verdict on the car lift? Mine, the one that I put in from A+ Lifts, is still fantastic. It doesn't even leak. When our AEM clicky is going to be in stock, I just bought more stuff to build them. It just takes a while to get the stuff. And my biggest issue with not building like 10 a day is the parts are expensive. And I don't want to buy like literally $600,000 in parts and sell 3 of them and be out all the money I spent. I mean, they're doing pretty good. I started doing like 2 at once. Now I'm doing 4 at once. And I'm going to keep going, you know, every time everybody buys them that well, I'm going to buy more and more parts to build them. So what else do we got here? Audio is good. I just watched the Colorado compilation explanation. That was wearing. Awesome. Oh, sorry. He meant to say awesome. I did get rid of 8s for 8. Kia update. Yeah, I have to do one of those. I'm going to do something. I'm going to go totally different direction with the Kia, which I should just explain. But it's a little bit ways out because of all the other projects. But I should explain what I'm going to do with it, because then you guys can hold me accountable. And but I think when the Mustang's running and moving under its own power, I can start the Kia. I think I might do a pre-order for the harnesses, because then I can just take your cash immediately and buy the parts. Right? Like we do with the sweatshirts. The sweatshirts would cost thousands of dollars, and then if no one bought them, we would be done. What's an AEM clicky? It is a... I call them a dial-a-boost and some other things. Let me look them up quick. On the dial-a-boost. Yeah, I made a video about it. I'm looking it up quick. I'm going to paste the video for you guys. I have like too many things open here. Input harness. So it's a whole input harness that I sell. Or I've started selling it as like a thing. Check that out, guys. You can watch that later or whatever. Hey, Jamie's here. Hi. So many projects, damn wife keeps buying cars. Yeah, Jamie has much more cars than I do right now. And like I said to her, I'm enjoying taking a break kind of from what I do normally to work on all these quirky things she has. It's nice. Can I pre-order clickies? Okay, we turned that up. I'm going to do a video too tomorrow, I think, to show people how to use the clicky dials. I sold them all. I'd love to show you guys, but the video goes in depth about the dial-a-boost harnesses. That's what happens when you have a kid. Yes, you're totally right, Joe. Yeah, I just, the videos, it just was wearing on me to try to, like, push them out all the time. And working on the Mustang and everything else has just taken some, it was taking a lot of effort. And I just took a step back to, like, work on my house, make sure the cars are good, do extra stuff for my wife. She works really hard. So, what steering wheel was on your white truck? Well, people say it's like a Cobalt, a G6, or a Corvette wheel. They say they're all the same. I don't know if that's a joke or not. I believe it was, yeah, I think it was a C6, but it could have been. Who wins most of my cars run challenge? Well, right now we have two that are torn apart. I have the Mustang and she has a Rabbit pickup truck. And we just gutted the Rabbit pickup truck. So she has a video out about that probably tomorrow. Sloppy stage 3 and a sloppy stage 3 all motor cam and a 6-liter turbo is probably a bad idea. It's probably too much camshaft. What kind of ice cream? I don't know. What's that stuff called? Jamie got me some stuff every now and then. I can't even remember what it's called. Shout out to Corey Noble. He did the 79 Malibu Don't BS Me recently. Oh yeah, he did. Wouldn't that be a caddy? Yeah, I always mess that up. Jamie always yells at me. It's a caddy pickup or just a Volkswagen Caddy. But I mean, when you look up parts for it, it's a Volkswagen 83 Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck. But apparently everyone in the world calls them a Caddy. When I hear Caddy, I think of a Cadillac. So that throws me off. What's Jamie's YouTube? It's called Jamie's Garage. Let me dig it up and link you guys. Dun, dun, dun. There's another person that has a Jamie's Garage. But there's another Jamie's Garage. Here it is. Where do I get the... Here it is. I found videos, but I wanted to link you to the main page. So here's Jamie's thing. It might not be like your cup of tea if you like watching what I do, because Jamie actually likes having nice cars and driving nice cars. And I like building total garbage and showing dyno tuning videos and stuff, so. The other Jamie's G is good. Yeah, I haven't watched it, so I didn't want to make some assumptions or say some angry things. Yeah, she is here under her channel, so but you may or may not be able to click on it very easily, so. How is everybody? James says, what's up? Not much. We're waiting for Cleet. If you guys are just joining in, he requested 9 because he had a track rental, and he was like, I'll be home before 9. And like 8:30ish, he broke his transmission in the El Camino, so he can't drive it back to his house. So he hit me up and he's like, can we push till 9:30? I gotta get this car home. So he broke his transmission and he's trying to get home. So we're gonna sit and wait for him. He said probably 9:30, but whatever. Oh, Jason, yeah, I didn't get to email you back yet. I did see it, but I didn't want to mark it as read because I didn't want to forget about it. But Sunday was my wife and I's anniversary, and then also the owner of the dyno got COVID and he had to go to the ICU. And unfortunately, I never marked that you were going to stop in between the appointments, and I moved my Sunday appointments. And then, so I didn't end up going, and then I completely forgot that I told you to stop by in between them. That's completely my fault and not yours. I apologize. It was kind of a crazy day, and you got the negative side of that. I apologize. Yeah, he broke. Oh yeah, he broke the transmission. You're just stating that he always does. No, I mean, it is, but he's got to get his car out of the track. Like you say, the Freedom Factory's full. He's still got to move stuff and get home and. Yeah, hey, thanks Kyle for donating. I'm sorry I'm not calling those out. I feel like such a weird Twitch streamer, but I want to acknowledge people that give me money. Obviously, it's very nice. Jason N, is there any downside to unplugging a MAF sensor not with IAT when doing VE caliber? Nah, it really doesn't hurt it, in my opinion. When he shows up, ask him if he wants maple syrup built turbo. I can ask him. I can ask him. And then I'll try to catch up with the chat here. Okay. Message Holdener. How are things with the cross ram? I'm still putting that on, and I'm doing segmented twin turbo kit, and that'll be like one of the only people doing that I know of. That'll be a cool test, and it'll be dual drive-by-wire also. LS George and Lamullets. I just don't have time. I would love to do all that stuff. I don't have time. I'm sure if I asked him, he would let me. That was one of the questions. I'm sure if I asked him, you know, I would love to do that, but I can't really right now. I got too much going on. Get Holdener in here. Anybody else want to jump on till he comes in, and then we can boot you? Holdener was on already. Maple syrup and fried rice. Any other questions for like sloppy projects? I mean, I did answer some quick, but I can keep rattling. I'll give you guys a sneak, a bit of what do I even call it? A secret. Not a secret, because I'm going to tell you. That's why I'm struggling with my words. I'll tell you in here, live, I'm going to put a 24-valve VR6 from a O2 Jetta and the 6-speed manual into the older Kia, the 13. And I think we're going to turbo it immediately also. And I have a Holley Terminator and a 686 Dash that's going in it also. And that's why Kenny and I are working so much on his S10 12-valve car. So that's running, driving, and we might put that on the dyno tomorrow. He has to get the hood and the grill done, and he sent me a picture of the grill already done. But I think a 24-valve VR in a Kia Soul would be hilarious. And I don't think anybody will hate it, because it's Volkswagen people will be like, that's awesome. And then Kia people will be like, that's awesome. And I think turboing it and putting it on Holley with the Holley Dash is just adding to all of that. I think it'll be really cool. And then people were like, a couple of my friends were like, man, that'll be so useless. Probably on motor it'll be useless. And I think I'm going to do pistons right away. Just pistons. And I guess the head gasket isn't great. So you do pistons, head gasket, and studs. And then you can make like 800 horsepower, everybody says. It's like basically the German LS. It's so many of them, and they're easy to make power and everything else. So what I also wanted to do is put like a really low wastegate spring in, like 2 pounds, if it'll hook on that, and do rear wheel, undriven rear wheel speed boost by mile an hour. So you'd be able to put down a decent amount of power. But the Kia is like in the mid 2,000 pound range. It's not heavy at all. Would you ever do a huge turbo Subaru? I'm really not into Subarus. What do people think about the Kia? It seems like you guys are liking that. Bring Jamie on. She is more than likely getting the little guy ready for bed or trying to force him to sleep. So she probably won't make it out here. What we were thinking of doing... yeah, again, I'm sorry, Jason. I biffed on Jason Bag, guys. Totally my fault. Is the new Mustang replacing 8s for 8? Yeah, my wife actually bought me the gray Mustang because the red one, she said the red one was so awful to me and took part of my soul with it that she wanted to give me like a clean slate Mustang. And then what happened is I announced it as like a cool swap project, like a quick, clean swap project. And then out of nowhere, I've had more sponsorship in my entire life over the last year. And people keep sending me stuff. And I keep joking that if I just take longer to finish it, I'll eventually get like a 25-2 chassis installed in it. Sponsored also. But no, I think I'm going to push pretty hard for that thing before winter. I will use the Volkswagen transmission and the Kia. We're going to adapt the hubs, or we're going to pin and weld and plug weld and sleeve our own axle conglomerate. And then if that works out, I'll probably see if someone can make a custom axle, like maybe Drive Shaft Shop, if I break mine. But I don't think I ever plan on dumping it on slicks and doing dumb track things with it. Just dumb things in general with it. What's my opinion on the Billet S480? I love the Billet S480 that VS sells. It's my favorite next to the 7875. I've made 900 to 990 rear wheel on probably 30 combinations I've tuned. Anyone got ideas for you call Ryan Jans about an 80E stall converter, Florida torque converter. We can link you guys. Someone link this Aaron Reynolds to Florida torque converter. Do you see yourself gutting the New Edge for another Fairmont in the future? No. If I do another Fairmont, I think I mentioned it before, I'd like to do a big cube LS3 style engine, like a 434, and high compression like dumb high, and do that dual clutch 7-speed and gear the rear exactly for all the gears through the quarter mile, and listen to it shift 6 times like a Liberty or something the whole way down. I think that would be cool to tin can another Fairmont and do like a low 9-second all motor car. 15, yeah, something crazy. Like I want to get gas ports on it just so I say I have gas ports. For like nearly no other reason. 67 62s. I have that for my Mustang. Here, check this out. I have the billet mirror image 67 62s, V-band in, V-band out, and a guy on Sloppy by the name of Choates Coates did the hydro dipping for me. Also, shout out to Choates Coates. He did an incredible job. It's like a car part conglomerate. It's all car parts dipped. Looks super cool. Can't wait to hang these guys on there. Hey, while we're at it, another one of the sponsors is BSI, Black Sheep Industries in Canada. Kyle and Nick. So they sent me a blow-off valve for this car. Look at their nice Black Sheep logo. They sent me a blow-off valve, which I might need another. I'll gladly pay him, but he has sponsored me these 50 millimeter. And then he sent me 2 45 millimeter piston wastegates that they make in-house. So I got 2 of these for the Mustang. All in. Oh yeah. Boosted Lifestyle, Kyle. He is a partner, I think, in BSI. 8088 is probably going to be lazy for a stick shift car, but it all depends on what you expect. A Gen 2 7875 would be insane. I don't like spool valves. Wastegate design is sick. Yep, I can't wait to use them, honestly. He's posted videos recently a lot of some cars going like mid-4s with his wastegates. So for people that are wondering if they work or not. He just said, "Can we push tilt?" He's so sad, upset. I swear this isn't a publicity stunt. Wouldn't it be funny if I didn't invite him or get... I didn't talk to him at all, and I just told you guys he was going to be on, and for no reason, I just made all this up. He asked for another 30. He says, I can definitely make 10. Obviously, his night is ruined. We can all... We've probably... I mean, you guys have probably been there, right? I've been there for sure. When am I going to do a drag and drive? I think Cameron and I talked about this prior videos. We're going to take Cameron's completely stock Crown Vic on one. I don't think taking like a race car right away is fun. I don't want to work on my car the whole time. I think it would be enjoyable to just do that and run like 14 seconds or 18 seconds every day and be comfortable and have fun and spectate. And then if it goes well and we can research well enough, it'd be cool to take like his Crown Vic race car. Yeah, he did break the trans on the El Camino. He was at a test and tune. I think people obviously might miss that, but he was on he asked to move it from the usual 8 p.m. to 9 because he was like, I'm going to be racing at a test and tune. I'll be home by 9. And he's like, oh, I have plenty of time for another pass before the 9 o'clock show. I'll make another pass. Breaks his transmission. So then he hits me up and he's like, can we push till 9:30? And I said, yeah, I'll go live and we'll BS with everybody. We'll do a bunch of live catch up on everything. And then he just asked again until 10. Hopefully he doesn't ask till 10:30. Take my Hellcat. What? Me and Cameron to one of the drag and drives? Bring on Monkey Fab. Does anybody I know want to jump on? Like, I could invite some people here to my Google Meet. Take the Broham. Anyone tested the 85mm T4? Well, the T4 is just small. I don't know. Only reason I would tell you to do an 85mm T4 is if you're going to do twins. Live Rambletron. Need to holly my Grom. I don't think it'll do a single cylinder. It lets you choose 4, 6, and 8 right now. Call up Finnegan. I can hit him up on Messenger. It'd be funny to get like a bunch of those guys all in one show, like we did Devin and Troy at the same time. I was just like pissing myself laughing at that. It was incredible. I want to have Kevin from KSR. I want to have Brent from PFI. He said he would. It's just obviously it's hard to get a hold of him. Just like Cleeter here, Cleet McSkeet. We've been talking about it for months. He said okay months ago. So did Kyle Loftus. It's just the fact that lining it up for these people, I know it's tough. I mean, I think he just drove back from Cletus and cars, and then he's just taking his El Camino out to show you guys stuff and breaks his trans, and in the meantime, like, he's on some nobody dude's radio show that made fun of him for years. Kyle from Goat Rope. I've heard of that Goat Rope. I always get... Don't kill me. I get like a lot of those where it's garage mixed up. There's like Vice Grip, Goat Rope, and someone else. I always feel like they're the same person. Kyle from Goat Rope. If anybody knows, like Brent or Kyle or those people, if they can get me in touch with them to get on the show. I talked to Tom Nelson again, and he wants to do it, but he's so busy it's tough to line him up also. Be honest, were you annoyed with the Tony chat? He's just a different person, right? I'm learning in my life to expect, like, he's different. Obviously, like, I just dislike a lot of the Mopar stuff because I feel like it's not cost effective. But then I understand people like quirky stuff, like Jay Leno has those steam cars and everything else, and in like a weird, long, sappy, kiss-ass answer, you need people to preserve some of that stuff. Like, some people have to be interested in that stuff. My gut reaction is like, why even mess with it? But he just, he's like, I like to do it, and I don't care, and that's a great answer, I think. So Brent did get bent over by the EPA, but there's a local guy here that like they fined him millions. Jeff Evans, I've had him on years ago. I did a Q&A with him. I want to have him on live again. He also said yes, but they fined him millions years ago. So it wasn't just $20,000, millions, and he's just a small time tuner up the street for me. So think about that. That was years ago. Years and years ago. You can look it up. Kyle from Boosted Boys. Yep. That's another. I was just like, whatever. And I liked the comment he made when he went sevens. He's like, everybody discounted us and we're just having fun. And everyone said we did it wrong. We built the motor wrong. We're tuning wrong. We're too dumb. All we do is break stuff. And then they went sevens in their MR2. And obviously that guy can drive. So props to him. I love at the end, he was like, everybody says we can't do it, and we did. Me. Because I do that stuff too. That's what really pushed me a while ago. Tom Nelson needs to get Goatzilla. That's that four-wheel drive crazy one, right? I want to see that done too. Fuel injection sucks. I know Justin Kramer personally. I could always have him on. Vice Grip Garage is a hoot. He seems like funny, but like, I'll sound dumb when I say this, but you have to, I don't like the staged stuff, It seems like he might not be scripted, but he almost seems scripted. Like, I just, once or twice I watched a few of those and they were kind of funny, but then he's like I think he's trying to do like the too many Canadian slang words, dumb uncle, forcefully. Maybe not, I don't know. I've only seen a few and I don't know him personally, but I don't like when people have to be like a character, and I feel like he's trying, and I might be totally wrong. I'm totally wrong about a lot of people all the time. AVE would be awesome, but would he show himself on camera? Yeah, see, one or two of you said yes. Taylor Ray, hard to line up also. These people, they're just as bad as me. He's like, yeah, I'll do a radio show, and then like he doesn't answer me for 5 days. And then out of nowhere he asks me a question and we both forget to talk about it. Yeah, I doubt AVE would be on camera. Just like Uncle Tony's never going to be on camera. Yeah, same thing. Like, Vice Grip Garage, obviously he has a lot of subscribers, and it's funny, but it's just not for me. Like, I don't know. It's why people, like, you guys watch what I do, because it's mostly facts. Or just me soapboxing, and that's not for everybody. Definitely, because 15 years I have 100,000 subscribers. Doesn't like when people are characters. Yes, I hope you are joking as much as, I mean, Garrett's a real person. He's frequently much more himself, I believe, than he is some sort of weird character. I believe that, I mean, I met him a few times in person, and he is the same person. So, is that what's his name? Vice Grip. He might be exactly like that in person, and then that's, yeah, it's funny to me, but I don't want to watch, like, him be, I don't know what it is, guys. It's just, it's cool that people like it, right? I don't want to say anything bad about the guy, but it's just not for me. He's like a drip the drippolator into the sparkleator and make the boomalator. Like, it's too much of that. I don't know. Maybe it's just the episodes I saw. Yeah, Derek seems cool, but I just don't like, at least I watched like 2 of the videos, and it just felt a little too forced for me. What's with the Snake Eater Bosch? Snake Eater's new deal with Bosch. Yeah, they reached out. He asked if he could be a retailer for them a long time ago, and they declined him. And then after he started doing well, they asked him to be a dealer for them. And then people are like, your other injectors must suck. Why are you selling Bosches? And he's like, everyone's asking me to sell Bosches, so I am. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Ice Grip, just giving you a hard time. I figured. Yeah, I gotta have Kyle on here. Kyle, we gotta talk about doing a show. Maybe you and Nick at the same time. BSI together. And Kyle and Nick. What happens was Snake Eaters were cheaper because there was no flow testing or anything else. And then people asked for flow testing. And then he had a guy doing flow testing. And then that guy was just giving him paperwork that said he was flow testing and he wasn't. So that happened. So then he had to start doing his own flow testing and he had to buy as new machines and everything else. And then all of that stuff cost money. And then with how much is going on and everybody buying them, he had to buy employees and then it just went up. So it is what it is. Everyone asks for stuff and the price went up. He was just telling me his Bosch, he has like a genuine Bosch 60 or 70 pounder that's only like $390. I don't think that's expensive at all. A21 on his Escalade. Yeah, I mean we had an episode with A21 Hunter tuned and Squirrel tuned. So it was Jack, Ryan, and Hunter on a show after all four of us had successful Mustang programs on a budget, except for Jack, which is Jack's car cost a lot of money. He knows. And then we talked about all the Mustangs, but it would be cool, you're right, to bring them on individually and talk to them if they want to, if you guys are interested, or even if you guys aren't interested. Any word on the oil pan LOJ was designing? No, I think we had Steven Dorick on a few shows ago, I believe. He's always doing crazy stuff. He's knee deep in that Frontier. He just got it tuned enough to do, he took it to LS Fest and everything else, and he's been doing a lot of testing. See, he doesn't just want to like go do something and hurt it. He wants it to be awesome for a long time and slowly work up to it. He's very calculated and successful, so he did. He went 488 at 146 in the 8th. And then the guy with the Firebird or Camaro or whatever it is beat him again, like a week later. And they're friends. They are amicable. Justin Keith was Stang Killer. I almost got to do like a list, you know? It's tough with me being a squirrel and not remembering and being all over the place. Hunter's Mustang is doing amazing. Yep. He just finished it and went out and crammed out a bunch of 8s. So that goes to show you how much he's learned too. His first time out with the project, he's cramming out 8s. And you know, people might be like, whatever. People go 8s all the time in Mustangs. Do it. Just do it then. There's a lot of nuts and bolts and wires that have to be connected correctly and stuff to get a car to go that fast. And then, namely suspension. I've built a bunch of 9-second cars, and you don't have to do much. But to get a 60-foot to get you into an 8 is the most difficult part. Making the power isn't hard, but getting the car to leave really good is difficult. We need to get Finn to work on Tom Nelson. I was emailing Tom Nelson a bunch over the, once a month or once every 2 months. And then I found out his brother died, and then I felt like such an asshole because I'm like, I'm badgering him, and his brother is dead. And then he still wasn't getting back to me, but a bunch of times he said he would. So just for fun, the other day I saw he posted a bunch of stuff on Instagram. I immediately hit him up, and he messaged me right back. He's like, yeah, I'm just busy. We need to get a time. So I think I got spammed, or he marked me as spam one day. Who the hell knows? Driveway engineer. Hold on, I want my thing slid up here. Get driveway engineer on if you could climb off a high horse. I've only seen 1 or 2 of his videos. Namely, he made a video when Terminator came out that was like, stock computer is cheaper. And the people, no one's making those videos now because I think they get it now, right? I'd like to see what he thinks about it now. Lucid lifestyle. He went like an 814 though. 814, and like he says, him and his team are not suspension building or tuning experts. So they're kind of like, they have some working knowledge obviously, and they were just flailing in the wind and went at 814. Pretty incredible. He was definitely having fuel problems. We were talking about it, and they were on C16 and running 30 some pounds, 36, 40 pounds, and his duty cycle was off the chart, but I think the pressure looked okay, so something is wrong with his fuel flow, and that's probably what hurt the bottom end. I'd love to see 2D and 3D table stuff. Like what? For what? I'm going to do the dial-a-boost things about it. Give people the information. And his car's 3,300 pounds. Significant. Extra 300 pounds. I had, my wife and I had Groms, and I even did a video on me integrating a micro squirt and an LS1 coil pack into a Grom, and then I tuned it on my dyno, and I picked up like almost one whole horsepower, or 1.25 horsepower, which is quite a bit. When it made like 7.5 horsepower, and I got like 8.5 horsepower out of it. So all those videos exist already. I did it. I even have a spreadsheet on my Google Drive that I put up after those videos to show how to wire it in. 1100 on a 4303 sounds low. Yeah, there's something going on, obviously. They need to pinpoint it. How far will I've made 650 wheel on ethanol on a 525. I think we pushed 700. Well, MagnaFuel, I have tuned probably 25 cars that make 1,000 to the tire through an automatic on my dyno on E85 with MagnaFuel 4303s. So if you add another 40% to that for gasoline, that should go pretty far. Nigel will be awesome. Yep. Nigel and I'm not looking. Who else? Nigel and I can't remember his name. You're taxing me, guys. Heading home now. I'll hop on as soon as possible. He will be here. He will, I guess. He should join on his phone. I'm not going to say that to him. I don't want. He'll probably try, and I don't want to add that to his night. How much flow will go through a GM flex sensor? Well, over 900 horsepower. A lot of people put them in the return. You can put them in the crossover in a smaller hose. Motion Raceworks and some other people sell that conglomerate push together that converts it to a 10, so you can put it on the feed. There's a lot of that stuff. Yeah, they just said Motion. His house is like 5 minutes. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, a Y on the return. Yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff. Show a timing correction table for an ethanol sensor. I'm pretty sure I I think I did that already. Maybe I didn't do a flex fuel video. Holly did a good job on it. A lot of my bass tunes have it already also. I would like to have Doug cook because I made fun of him so much, just like Cleeter. For some reason, I really dig on people, and then when I get to know them, you know. Sorry, I was reading something else. It would be cool to have Doug on. I learn a lot about him that way. Same thing I did to Cletus. Same thing I did. Well, I gave Finnegan and Freiberger a ton of shit. But then, you know, it's like something wrong with my brain, obviously. I make some presumptions, and I think people are playing a character, and I don't like that. And then, you know, once I realize they're normal people. Finnegan is the most chill surfer dude ever. He did. I said he's going to show me up at prom. Turbo Tom, I asked him to be on too, and he said he's so crazy busy. He's hard to line up too. A lot of these people are busy. Imagine that. Yeah, Jag's HD budget converter is incredible, dude. It's incredible. If it's going to be mostly street, get the tighter one. There's search on the Sloppy Wiki. Just search Sloppy Wiki Jags XHD. It'll give you the part numbers and everything. Oh yeah, Doug. So when I started making fun of Doug in that post, Cleetus immediately messaged me and he was like, "Doug's my boy. Shut up." Not like that. He was much more diplomatic, but he was like, "Doug's not a bad guy. Shut up." And then Doug messaged me and was extremely cool. And I made comments in that thread. I was like, well, thread backfire here. Doug is the coolest guy in the world. Super nice to me, even though I'm a jackass. But frequently, words come out of my mouth before my brain thinks. I think I'm getting better as I get older. I hope. I did do a fuel and air fuel table. Okay. Tom's video comes out of nowhere. Yeah, he takes pride in his work, that's for sure. I mean, look at his garage and how he builds his cars. So he doesn't want to put out, like, I'll make a video, like, I'll do this. I'll shoot something with my cell phone in 6 minutes, not edit it and upload it. Doug from Motion Raceworks. Doug, I don't think I know his last name, or it just escapes me. I've heard a lot about Turbo John. Who is that guy? Forgive me. LSA blower, off, idle, stumble, probably acceleration enrichment, or you need to modify your VE acceleration enrichment because the volumetric efficiency moves so fast because of a positive displacement blower. Doug Cook. Yep. What you need to do if you're having trouble with your LSA in a Terminator X is I have my supercharged G35 tunes in the tune cabinet, I believe. I mostly do that all the time. You should take a look at those. Yeah, there's nothing much wrong with a stock ECU for NA, but at the price point, most people just can't even get the stock ECU stuff running. Trust me, I've done enough of the tuning where people just getting it running is like the biggest hurdle, and the Holly just beep, boop, beep, Game Boy, boom, fire, done, running. Turbo John has a budget Fox. People talk about him a lot. I just haven't had the time to like research and watch. PWMing a second pump. You got to watch about what you PWM. I want to try PWMing a 4303 since MagnaFuel says you can. PWMing a bunch of Walboros has burned out Walboros for me. Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe they just burn out. Maybe you guys could let me know. Twisted Builds boost controller. Do I even need to do that? No. You can just use the Twisted Builds one. You can use the Terminator. You can use the Twisted Builds from Dale. This 3-step versus 2-step you hear people using. Usually a 3-step was like a burnout limiter, and then a launch limiter, and then an overall limiter. That's the 3 steps. And then what the 3-step now for turbo cars is, Jack actually told me about that. I didn't know people were doing this. So they come up on they let the converter, so say the car takes a long time to make boost if you're leaving at 3,500. Say it takes a long time to make boost, too long. So you can set the 3-step to do a limiter or a limiter offset, whatever you want to do. So you can set it to like 4,800, 5,000. So then you can turn that limiter off when it hits like 13 pounds, right? So at 5,000, it comes up on boost fast, and you can have your dumps and the 3-step all at the same time. So it comes up on the dumps. If you watch Squirrel Tune's past video with the data, it has the dump valves open. It goes to like 5,000 very quickly. It makes all the boost he needs to launch, and then it turns on the lower limiter to where it won't destroy the tire, but now it's in boost. So it does all that quickly, effectively, and then he launches. Does that make sense? Was that a good summary? Okay, guys, I got cookies and ice cream. I'm gonna make espresso over ice cream for breakfast tomorrow morning. Thanks for nutting that. PWMing a water pump and not using a thermostat. I've never done that. I'm not a fan of electric water pumps, but that'd be cool to try. Can't go low on duty cycle. It will burn pumps. Yes, people say no lower than 50%, I think. Can you confirm on that? 10 out of 10, you should have Turbo Johnny has a lot of knowledge. Cool. Holly Terminator planned on a... It's very easy to do LS1 Camaros on a Terminator. I've done a bunch of them. Yes. Yep. But what you need is someone with HP tuners or you with HP tuners, and then you can do both. And then, how should I say this without getting into trouble? If you accidentally turn off all of your codes, it may pass a plugin illegally. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you turn off all the codes, no error reported, and uncheck all the SESs, it might illegally pass. So you should definitely not do that. Goat Rope Garage does live streams every Thursday. Check out my junkyard. That'd be cool. Where are you? Yeah, Devin. Devin says he's gonna do a live. Are you ready to start it right now? Why not? And then Cleet can join and we can kick you out, obviously. A guy here has a Junkyard 502 twin turbo Chevelle that he's gonna start up in a couple minutes. Well, let me know because Cleet might be there by then. That'd be cool though. Little intermission twin turbo Chevelle start. Why my hesitation on dislike Doug? I don't know, up and down, right? Because part of me is like, is this guy fake? And I feel like he's acts like a character also, but everyone tells me that's not true. I feel like he like forces an accent, but maybe. See, as I get older, I realize like when people do weird stuff like that, some of those people have like a throat injury or a childhood defective thing that they've had fixed, and that's why they have like a... I don't even think he has a speech impediment. But he just says stuff funny, and I don't know why. Stuff like that will trigger me, and I'm like, blah. I just go off on a rant about people for no reason. It's a toxic thing that I do, to be totally honest. And as soon as he was nice to me, I was like, well, I'm a jerk. I apologize. I wrote him a long thing. Oh, Garrett joined. Uh-oh, I gotta turn you on here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? It shows the like thing that I'm talking.
You muted somehow? You can always rejoin. Oh, they can hear him. Why can't I hear you?
Yeah, I don't know.
They say they can hear you, but I can't. What the hell's going on? What am I doing wrong? How am I screwed up on this, guys? They can hear us both, but I can't hear you. What is going on? Let me check my...
It's not going to make for great conversation.
Oh, hold on. How about that? Well, this is unfair. Hello? 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 Come on! Why can't I hear you? That's retarded. So everybody can hear Cleet and me, but I can't hear Cleet. So this will make it difficult, obviously, right, guys? Let me, I'm gonna rejoin quick. It's like, it's using the app, but it's not. Yeah, Cleet's in and out. I don't know what's happening to Cleet. I don't know why you guys could hear him. Look at all these. Maybe he's coming up through chat. He's like, I wasted my whole night trying to get you guys, and now... What about now? Sing a song the whole time. See if we can get you. How can I not hear you? Normally this is totally fine here, boys. Hello? He muted you because of the Doug comments. Why? Why? You might have to rejoin for your... I might rejoin the damn meeting too for my... What do you think? He finally made it. Yeah, he's gonna rejoin. Because when you plug in headphones, it doesn't always, No! Are you kidding? He's speaking in Russian. We're blue balling everyone. So bad. Can you hear me? He can hear me. You guys can't hear him. American Sign Language. Oh yeah, I do know that. I work with a deaf guy. We could hear him, but not anymore. Why? I'm gonna rejoin. Okay? I want to see what's happening here. Leave the call. I'll leave and I'll come back. Now? How? How, guys? How can we get this far? When you switched audio source is when it messed up. Okay. So why? How about this? Is this real life? Yeah, why is it so bad? How about now?
Check.
Mine not happy?
All right, ladies and here, I know a lot of people on here
Oh no, you're right. What the hell's going... Oh, hold on. Hold on.
like Volkswagens.
Hold on. I think I'm going to figure something out. We should get an IT guy. You gotta be kidding me. No, yeah, I'm trying to, Now? Oh. Yes! There it is!
Can you hear me?
Yeah, why was it so difficult?
I don't know.
This is why we usually, test beforehand, but someone had to break their transmission. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds miserable. Didn't you just get back from Houston?
Yeah, we got back from Houston and just testing the car before FL2Ks this weekend. And basically, like, I made a hit in the car and it knocked the tires off. And I was like, man, this is so frustrating. And then it went down twice. And I was looking at the tune. There's like this weird spot in the G meter. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I started looking at old tunes and it was still doing it there. So then I realized that I have a dump valve problem going on where I have my dump valve for the transmission set so that basically 4 or 5 tenths into the run, the dump valve was turning off. So it's going from like 30 pounds of converter pressure to 130.
To help you put the tire down, or is that a mistake?
No, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
So then...
So you're burning up the trans every launch.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then I was like, oh man, hopefully it's not hurt. Turn the dump valve on or off. Yeah, off technically. And first rib just cooked the first gear band. So then the car was like acting kind of funny, and I was like, oh man, like, should we tow it back to the shop? Whatever. I ended up driving it back. Just wanted to assess the situation because now I got to swap trans tomorrow. So found the spare, dug it out.
Jeez.
And we're gonna get her dialed.
That's it's Kevin sabotaging you again.
What is this Doug comment? I heard you refer to.
Oh
Doug
no,
comment.
I was talking about when the Doug thing where you messaged me and you're like, dude, Doug's my boy, and we talked and I apologized.
Oh, Doug from Motion.
People asked about it, or they were saying I should have Doug on the show, and I said I would like to, actually, because I made
Yeah.
fun of him, and he was a good guy about it, and that's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm frequently a jerk.
I know. I knew we'd end up talking about this tonight, but everyone should know that Matt and I met because
I just gave him shit nonstop.
Social media,
I was
trash
awful
talk.
to him.
Yeah, it's all good. No, it's like, I mean, man, I look back at that point in my career and I'm like, man, I can't believe I spent so much time on Facebook arguing with grown men. Like, you know, like a lot of people in this industry spend so much time on Facebook arguing with each other. I'm like, holy Toledo.
That happened recently. I saw your video about it was one of your races or something, and that came up. I forget what happened. It was very dramatic, and it's like the one time in the last 6 months I can remember something being dramatic, except for myself.
I haven't had really much trauma in the last couple of years. I have like completely disconnected from all that. I just do my thing, and
good for you.
There's people who don't like it, and there's people who do like it, and it's cool. So
yeah. Oh man, well I got questions. Do you want to introduce yourself? Do we need to introduce you?
I'm happy to introduce myself.
Yeah, why not? As a formality.
My name is Garrett. I'm a Florida man, but I go by Cleetus McFarland on the interwebs, or honestly, in my whole life now. YouTuber, automotive YouTuber, and just like to break stuff, fix it, break it again, fix it, and film the whole deal.
Yeah, awesome. I was going to say, like, Florida man also, so I'm glad you went over that. Because now you're an official Florida man because the news called you a Florida man.
Yeah, it wasn't really official until I got my own Florida man article.
It's kind of like...
It's probably when I peaked, yeah.
It's kind of like old times, like being knighted by the queen.
Yeah, it's like getting the key to the city.
Yeah.
To the state. I get pulled over. I'm like, sir, have you seen my Florida man article? And they're like, oh,
you should get a membership card, a members only jacket from like the 80s. Florida man members card.
Yeah.
Dude, sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were an official Florida man. All right, go ahead.
You should get a FOP plate, like Fraternal Order of Police, but something Fraternal Order of Florida Man, FOFM.
Absolutely. Don't have to register my vehicles.
Nothing.
Don't have to follow laws. It'd be great.
Yeah. Well, there are no laws in Florida, so you're kind of okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I would say in the beginning, similar like with a lot of people, where I target judgment and hate is where like when I think people are being fake or playing a character, and I realized obviously over time that wasn't you, and I apologized and rooted for you over time.
It's all good. Yeah, you were always a
complete kiss ass. So.
You were always like, I mean, I know we had the one scuffle and it was like really early on, but from that moment on, you've always supported our stuff. I see you comment on videos all the time. So,
and then at some point there, I was gonna say like you're definitely carrying the torch, like inspirationally wise, for kids that want to get into cars. So that's super important.
And then, I try that. That's my biggest thing, man. It's like I just want people to join the sport, come see these shows, and just really immerse in this culture because it's so good. It's so good. Like if you can become a part of this, I mean, I know I've seen firsthand a lot of people who, you know, because I went to a big school, so I've seen a lot of people do drugs and, you know, get caught up in alcohol and things like that. But I think the racing community is one of the cleanest sports out there because we have no money.
I agree.
To spend on drugs and alcohol. We spend it on our race cars. So you get a lot of, you know, really good people who have good intentions. There's, you know, obviously there's some, you know, bad, you know, guys here and there, but man, it's just such a good sport. It's such a good culture. That's
why I got into it. Overwhelmingly positive. Like, we talked about, I did a video recently with Devin Vanderhoof about drag racing etiquette, about like how to line up and everything else. And we talked about as dumb as it sounds, as lame as it sounds, the camaraderie. You can take your entire interior apart, lay down $3,000 in tools in the pits, and no one will touch it.
Yeah. Oh,
no one will touch it.
It's awesome. Especially race week, man. You go on a drag and drive event, that's some serious camaraderie. You're like pulled over on the side of the road, pulling your head, and some guy who pulls up who hasn't slept all night is like, "You need some help?" It's just freaking awesome.
But you're not allowed to help each other, the racers?
You can help each other if you're on the side of the road.
Yeah,
you
well,
can't help
sense.
each other if you're in competition. So once you pull up to the track and like you're basically there racing, you can't help each other.
Oh, that makes sense. You're like a quarantine for land speed racing.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing. Yeah. And Brent, my co-driver, PFI Speed, we like take it more serious than anyone. We don't let anyone work on our cars now. So like if it's Leroy, like no one touches it.
Well, then also
there's
so much done to that car. Missing one step is,
Yeah. It sucks.
And then the other part I was going to add to that was like I like how you're changing the way people enjoy cars and that you're revitalizing, motorsports in your own way. You're not like, the crusty NHRA being dumb and closing tracks because they aren't letting people race and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's like we're kind of in a revolutionary period.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see in a couple years what this sport's doing.
Oh yeah,
it's really hard to think.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird time, up and down. Like it seems it's on a swing up and a swing down at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like you can kind of look at Australia as
the worst part of it.
Maybe they're 5 years, 10 years ahead of us as far as what we're going into, cracking down on street cars. And I don't know, part of me thinks, the burnout culture could advance to their level. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like that you brought Australian style burnout stuff here because I've seen those videos and I'm like, why don't we do that? And you probably said the same thing.
Yeah. Honestly, it just took me going there and doing it, and it's just the best. I love drag racing. I like drifting a lot. But there's something about like ripping a burnout in front of a crowd of people. It's just so awesome.
Yeah. Well, I would say most of the cars I built were just to smash tires off and be done.
So any car can do it, really.
Yeah, I've seen some of them on there, obviously.
Yeah, we have like the most clapped out fleet of burnout cars.
Yeah, I love it. I love that one of his turbo blew and he just bought an Amazon. I like how he says it's not a Chinese turbo, it's an Amazon turbo. It's Amazonian.
Amazonian, dude. So you know the deal. My boy George.
And then my other question, what's that?
I actually have to show something really cool.
Oh, cool.
I have show and tell. For people who are up to date with the videos. My boy George, dude. Popped a wheelie in the Blazer tonight.
I was just watching you guys launching that.
Dude, popped a frickin' wheelie in the Blazer.
I just started watching that video before this. Did you guys do a trans brake and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She's dialed. All right, what were you saying?
You got that thing as a joke, and now it's like a fleet car already.
Yeah, I knew.
It happens.
I knew when I bought it that we were fully committed to it, so I was like, I better make sure it's something cool. You know how people like stick to something. If they see it, they're like, if it becomes part of the channel, it's in. Yeah,
we're in on this. People ask about it. Yeah, that's another whole question. Is like, I have 12 cars, and just keeping up on oil changes is tough sometimes. And you have I'm happy to see you have like Ty and some of those people just like handle some stuff because I don't even know how you sleep. And people were saying that like, how do you even have time to sleep?
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, it's transitioned to where I don't really work on cars that much. I obviously race week, I'm like, I have to go full blown cleater mechanic mode.
Yeah.
But other than that, I take care of all the filming, editing, business side of things. And then James manages the shop. And like, it was really scary this year. We took on George and Zach, 2 full-time payroll things. I was like, man, it's so much payroll. And so worth it, dude. Like those guys kill it. Ty kills it. So, I was so worried about having a bunch of staff, but man, those guys are so awesome. And they keep it's better. It pays off because not doing those oil changes and stuff when you have 20 cars. Then it's like you got to replace a motor.
Yeah,
and then
that's more money than oil and paying somebody.
Totally, and the time is the biggest thing, So
no, yeah,
it's working out good.
It's crazy. Oh well, this is someone paid. People do payment questions, so I always like to ask those whenever they come up.
Super chat.
Bastard Inc. says, "Who heard of who first?" I would say I probably heard of Cleeter, and through my negativity, he heard of me.
That's how I heard of Sloppy Mechanics. I joined the group because I'm like, someone hit me up and was like, dude, this guy just wrote a ferocious post about you. I was like, back then when I used to worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's this phase. I mean, I know you've experienced it.
Yep.
There's this phase from when you have about, I don't know, 7,500 subscribers to like 50,000 subscribers. There's this zone where you don't have enough people to back you up, but you have enough people watching to where those people are like, I hate this guy. I'm going to write the meanest thing I possibly can about them. And when you're new to YouTube and you don't have enough people to back you up, like you start taking it to heart. So I'm in this phase where like I read these. I mean, dude, when you're in that zone, 5,000 subs, 50,000 subs, you will have everything imaginable said about you.
I'm laughing because that's no one's ever said that, but I'm laughing because that's so true.
That's the danger zone, man.
I feel like that and how I grew up with hot rodding is the reason why I'm such a jerk, and it's taking me years to melt that off.
Yeah, but once you're through it, you're good, and then you realize as a creator that stuff doesn't matter.
It's rough. Yeah, you got to get through that.
You got to get through the danger zone. So, I need a term for it.
It's coming, people. It's coming. Well, in the ocean, there's tiers like the midnight zone and everything else, the twilight zone. So I would say as a YouTuber, you're probably coming from the bottom.
Yeah.
The abyssal area where it's just all dark and cold and crushing. And
yep. And you think like if you come up under a channel like, I came from 1320 video and like a lot of my buddies come from my channel, then no one's saving you from the danger zone. No. You have to go through it.
Highway to the danger zone. You gotta fly through you're just an 80s movie.
I think it's a big deterrent to people making it on YouTube, honestly.
Oh yeah. I know some people that are in like the 1,000 range, right? Like 1,000 to 10,000. So they gotta. That's coming. If they think it's tough, like that's gonna start coming out of.
Yeah, that's a really exciting phase. First 5,000 subs, you're like, wow, this could be something. You're like, I gotta keep making videos, and people are like, great channel. Like, I'm glad I found this channel. Like, this is gonna be great. And then you start getting some views, and that's when the haters start rolling up, and you better be ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's cool. Honestly, I don't get to talk a lot with other, guys who've made it through the danger zone. You know what I mean? Like I always have some friends in the business, but it's good to hear like you've been through it. So
yeah, I think also I'm so harsh to people that they don't want to comment after, and then I will blast them, and then I will screenshot it, and then I will post it on Sloppy.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And then everybody, it makes me feel better when everyone's like, "What an idiot."
I definitely have seen you roast some people.
If I can't do anything else, I can semi-roast. Yeah, it's like I'm a coffee blend. I'm semi-roasting.
Yeah, semi-roast is good for some things.
What? I'm gonna go for some questions here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I like to do some openers. Like, why cars, and what got you into them? Like, why did you choose car stuff?
Well, my dad, when I was being raised in Omaha, Nebraska, my dad had a small taxi company. So, we had a maintenance shop for him, all Crown Vics, obviously.
I never knew. That's awesome.
And so, when I would roll up to work with him on Saturdays, and we'd get done mowing and all that stuff, he'd be like, hey, like, I need you to move these Crown Vics to here and these ones to here. And I'm like, fire me up. This is the best thing. Like, I would go and just do everything, all my chores, just so I could go move the Crown Vics around the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I'm backing these suckers into each other. You know what I mean? Like, can barely see over the wheel, foot barely on the pedal. My brother, who's 4 years older than me, he's, guiding me, and I'm guiding him, and we're ripping out in the parking lot. Like, it was the best. And so that was like my hook on cars. And then, having Crown Vics around all the time, he would, he was a car guy himself, not into racing or anything like that. But he had some pretty cool stuff, because being that we had a cab shop, he kind of had a body shop going. So then, he ended up with the Camaro that's in my garage right now. And, that was around when I was growing up. He was always, his guys were working on that. But he was more of a business person than a car person. So just being there was a lot of cars around, that's what got me hooked. And it just went from there. But Crown Vics,
Crown Vics early on in your life will certainly do this to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They're great cars.
They're the best car ever.
That's funny that you got to shuttle those so early, because it takes a while sometimes for people to realize how good they are, and you're like, you started there.
Yeah. People are always like, oh my God, Cleetus has more Crown Vics than anyone's ever had. I'm like, dude, my dad's got me covered by a long shot. I'm years away from reaching the amount of Crown Vics that man has owned and destroyed, probably.
Does he ever like drive through there before one of your events and like gets to see all the Crown Vics and gets all misty-eyed at your Crown Vic collection?
It's crazy because, like, when he sold his business, there was a bunch of Crown Vics that I could have bought from him, but it was before my Crown Vic idea. And so I missed out on like the best deal ever. I could have bought like 50 Crown Vics for a deal from him, but it never did. So, but he helps me buy them and stuff from the auctions and all that. He knows
he's an expert.
Like he's an expert.
There is a what's this next one is? What was your first car?
First car was a 2001 Trailblazer LTZ with like 214,000 miles. Clean unit.
Was that also part of like a taxi thing, or how'd you get it?
Yeah. I mean, it was basically like, okay, so being that we had the taxi company, my dad had a dealer license, like slung cars on the side, always had something, cool coming along. But, you can drive in Nebraska when you're 14. So
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Came home one day. He's like, dude, some guy traded me this Trailblazer. He's like, you can drive it to school. And just from there, it kind of built. I went from a Trailblazer. Let's see what's next. Oh, yeah, I had a 4Runner, 99 4Runner that had some pretty cool wheels and tires on it. It was clapped out and slow, but drove that for a while. And then I got into freaking Subarus.
I saw that picture.
So, yeah, I had a like an 04 STI with like 162,000 miles on it. Thing was pretty sweet. My brother blew the motor in that.
Axis Donuts?
We didn't have that one for long. And then I had a Ram 1500. And then a Jeep Wrangler, dude. Oh my gosh. Who has I hate Jeeps now, so looking back
they're
on
awful.
I
Often I see them on the road, and I'm like, what type of masochist do you have to be to own this?
Yeah. I haven't driven one recently, but looking back on my old one, it was a piece of junk. And then I got a newer Subaru STI, and that's when I was working for 1320.
Yeah, that was my next question was, what did you do before? But I think some people know that. Maybe not. Maybe they're, they don't know that. But go ahead. What did you do before?
First job was Runza. You ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, Runza is like it's a QSR, quick serve restaurant in Omaha, Nebraska. It's like the Nebraska area. If anyone's ever had Runza, it's delicious. You can see it in some of my race week videos. We always stop there when we're in Kansas and stuff. And then I worked at Tractor and Supply.
Nice, that's
and
solid.
I was at Tractor and Supply. And then I worked for Jimmy John's for a while, delivery driver. and then 1320. So
straight to that. Wow, nice.
well, I mean, I worked at Jimmy John's while I worked for 1320 because I didn't get paid at 1320 for like the first 2 years.
Huh.
So
Damn it, Kyle. No.
I just wanted to be a part of it so bad. It's like Kyle probably could have not paid me to stay away. Like I was just so excited about his company. So
I have someone LS swapped Marauder paid $5 and says, "What's it like having the second fastest stock Marauder?" I love that you still haven't shown anybody how stock it is under the hood.
Well, based on the fact that his title says LS swapped Marauder, it's probably not stock. So I don't think he has the fastest stock Marauder.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he kind of gave it up in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Or the name. So I don't know.
Oh, and then someone else donated $4.99's Major Boost Creep. He says, "I have 160 subs, and I had one video take off and get 60,000 views, and I was absolutely not ready for the harsh honesty."
Dude, it's crazy.
That's got to be the worst, is when you're small and you haven't been built up yet.
Yeah.
And you get something that gets so many like that, and it's crushing. Like 80% of it's got, probably 99% of it's just vile.
Dude, my first viral video was putting exhaust whistles in a Corvette's
I saw that,
exhaust. Yeah. I mean, dude, I was getting absolutely roasted by everyone. They're like, "This kid's the biggest idiot ever." I'm like, they're not wrong.
That's awesome. My other introductory question was there a master plan for this? Like how it was going, or was it a dream to do this, or is it all just seat of the pants wild ride, or mix of both?
I think so. Like I was actually talking to George about this today because I was, just talking to him about how good he's doing, and he's basically an entertainer. Is his job now, and I was like, "Do you ever think about that? Like your job is an entertainer, and you get to work on cars." We were talking about that, but like two of my biggest idols when I was growing up, Jay Leno. Like I really wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and Jeremy Clarkson, obviously. So when I worked for Kyle, I would always make goofy videos and stuff like that. And Kyle just freaking, when the whole Cletus thing took off, thanks to Kyle from 1320. I mean, literally would have never happened without him. He, there was a couple years there where I was like, what am I going to do? There was no master plan for sure. And I was like, man, I was trying to get equity from Kyle and things like that. And he kind of wanted to help me do my own thing, which I really wanted to do. But it was like, it's like, how do you be an employee and then also want to do your own thing? It was a tough transitional phase. But Kyle, I mean, to take one of your main guys and say, "Hey, let me help you do your thing." Yeah. Like that's the most generous person ever.
Oh yeah. Super
and
cool.
that taught me a lesson in life that I'll never forget, like even if someone means so much to you, like let them do what they want to do and help them if you can. Like there's a lot of people in this world who would be like, they have that war mentality, you're either with me or against me.
Yeah.
Kyle Loftus, dude, one of the most generous guys of all time, helped me start the channel, pushed it, and I got it off the ground. And when I worked for him still for 2 years, I think, or maybe a year and a half total between when I went from 0 to like 100 or maybe 200,000 subs.
He was there for emotional support during your
dude,
hater abyssal.
Oh area. Yeah, he was around, but I mean, he was helping me make titles, thumbnails the whole way through it. And it's insane. Like, dude's generous as can be.
That's awesome because a guy just asked, he donated money, and he says, have you figured out what makes a video pop on YouTube? I have one with 1 million views, and I have no idea why, because it sucks. I mean, obviously,
tell him to post the link, and we can tell him. It's probably the title and thumbnail. Videos only do good with a good title and thumbnail. Think of the title and thumbnail as a door.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows what's inside yet, but that door, as long as it looks good, they will open it. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm sure you have a lot of wisdom for that stuff, you and Kyle and everybody.
That's my theory is like nothing matters what's on the other end of that door if they're not going to go through the door. So you have to have the perfect thumbnail title. Look at Mr. Beast. He's the biggest YouTuber because I guarantee you that guy spends hours on his thumbnails and titles. I bet you at every shoot they like take hours to get the right one. And if we did that, we'd probably get more views.
A masterpiece. Yeah, that's why. I have just for fun about once a year I do one that's like that. Like I hate to say clickbaity, but it's true. It's true, but I make it dramatic, and then it has like triple the views. But I don't know. I don't like spending the time on it. I don't need to.
I know. It's a balance for sure.
You do a good job of it. Most of the shit you're doing is like, I blew up my car, and you did. Like, it's not a. I like how everything says insane or you won't believe now. It crushes me. It hurts my soul.
I know. I use the word insane quite a bit.
You have to. That's how you get paid. I get it. I get it now.
I know. Yeah.
And then, a guy donated $2 and he says, "What's the Dale truck been up to?" That's a good question.
It's sitting in my garage.
Just wait.
The Dale truck's tough for me because I can't let anyone drive it really, because if it got tore up, it would be such a bad situation that like I only want it to fall back on me. If I tear it up, that's fine. I can handle the madness of tearing it up. Like whatever, I'll get over it.
Yeah.
But racing it on the oval and stuff, I'm like, man, if this thing just gets loose and gets wadded up, it's gonna really suck. So
is it just because it's unsafe or hard to replace or both?
Hard to replace is my thing. Yeah, I think it's very safe.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if it has a real chassis or if it was a clone, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't driven by Dale. It was driven by Mike Skinner, but it's a real truck from their team and the whole nine.
I didn't know that. Like, I knew it was like I didn't know it was actually from their team. So yeah, that's definitely, you shouldn't try to hurt it or let someone put it into a ditch.
And it's not even that I care about like resale or anything. I just love the truck and I think it's so cool that I want to keep it.
Yeah.
So let's see, what was the next one?
I got Onion Giver. You see that one? Will you ever have trailer races, demo derby at the Freedom Factory? You ever think about doing figure 8 race? Or is that just way too dangerous?
No, I know. We've thought about it. We just haven't gotten around to it.
That stuff's so cool.
I know. I would love to do it.
And then another one.
I don't know what the recipe is for it. I'll have to look into that.
I would get like the slowest things you could. So no one's hitting each other at 70.
I know.
Because they do figure 8s usually on a dirt track and they mud it up bad, so people can't really.
So they slide and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's like a demo derby. They don't want people hitting each other at 70.
Yeah.
They hit each other at like 18.
I don't know, but they also have those like super fast figure 8 cars too. So
yeah. Ooh.
You get some crazy guys who want to come out here and race.
I bet.
And you know that they will.
There's no shortage of absolute maniacs, I'm sure.
I know, especially in Florida.
Oh, yeah, you're in the best place. Sunlight and net, just everyone's cooked and ready to go.
This guy goes, here's the tacos and Mountain Dew. Keep the videos coming. Hell yeah, dude.
I'll have to send you half of that. Someone had a question. Sky, one of my friends, he goes, did you know that Mountain Dew Zero exists, and how does it make you feel to know?
I didn't even know that. No.
I didn't know either.
There's like a weird Yeah, actually, I have seen it because in Australia, they don't have normal Mountain Dew. It's like a sugar-free Mountain Dew. It's not very good. I don't know if people even buy it, to be honest.
They're so neutered there in some spots. It's wild.
Yeah, but they also have Jack and Coke in a can, like Jack Daniels and Coke all pre-mixed in a can. So
they have that in Germany too. I was blown away the first time
I
was in a train stop. Like the train was late and I turned around and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like a Jack and a Coke in a can. I'm like, what? This is
coolest thing ever, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Did you see this? Did you get the stickers I left at Freedom Factory with Frank? 815 LSX swaps. Like, what'd you leave him? 815 stickers?
They're probably on our table because whenever people like put stuff on the gate or in the mailbox, like the guys put it on the table. So I might have seen it. I don't know.
And then this one, a guy I work with has a video of Dale at DeSoto Speedway. I'll try and get it on a DVD for you.
I mean, brother, you don't even got to put it on DVD. Upload that sucker to YouTube. Do you want maple syrup made turbo? Yes, please.
Well, they make Kyle, Boosted Lifestyle, Kyle, and Nick own a company together called BSI, Black Sheep Industries in Canada.
Yep.
And they make turbos and homemade piston-style wastegates and everything. And they actually have some awesome turbos. And recently he asked me if I knew anybody because they want to test a GT55 size turbo and get feedback.
I mean, I'm pretty loyal to my boys at Precision, so it's hard for me to like jump ship.
Understood.
You know what I mean? But
that's what he meant.
We do have the one Amazonian. I mean, shoot, maybe we'll come up with something. I would say the Blazer, but we're trying to not turbo the Blazer. So.
No, yeah, he wants someone to push it for between like 1,500 and 2,000 horsepower because it's a huge turbo. So. Yeah. Putting it on something making 800 is not a good test for him. So that's what he's struggling with right now. And then the people that do have those turbos are in with Precision or Jose from Forced Inductions, stuff like that. So they can't really, that's what
That's tough.
He's making a good product, but like everyone's kind of. So anyway, it's out there. So maybe.
It's such a tough thing. Yeah.
Any plans to come up north so we can do ice drag racing on winter studded tires in Wisconsin?
Real quick, who might test that turbo would be my brother if he didn't already buy a turbo for his car, Dr. Pepper. Maybe hit up Teeth and Turbos.
There you go, guys.
Any plans to come up north? Dude, I would love to put studded tires on Leroy. I imagine if you let off the clutch, it would like shoot ice way out.
That's what they do. They put up videos every year because everything freezes. So they do. They go lake racing, frozen lake racing. Hunter and A21 Bravo and a bunch of those guys prep like an area, and they said that the ice hook's better than the track once you stud it, just because it digs so much with like this. What do they do? Do they do self tappers and inner tubes and some other stuff? They have videos on how to tube your tire and do studs and everything. So they put self tappers from the inside of the tire out, and then
I've seen that.
Yeah, and then they.
I just can't imagine it hooking better than the track.
Well, or at least like Ken Block says, ice and snow racing has more traction than asphalt.
Oh my god!
He says the same thing because it can dig. I think if
they want to hit me up, I would love to tow Leroy up to wherever and just freaking do it.
They can let you know when their ice rink is open to race.
Beautiful.
Oh, you see this one?
Something in Arizona. Yeah, I have no plans to go to Arizona. Sorry, buddy.
I'm going to go back to some of my questions. Mountain Dew Voodoo, Jamie Run the Mullets. Okay, and now we're through those. How did you... Oh, well, we went over that. Okay, now we're good. This one is a bunch of questions that were asked ahead of time that I thought were good to share. Which car in your fleet is your favorite? Probably the Dale truck.
Leroy, for sure. 100%. Yeah. There's no better car. I mean, there's no more... It's the best driving experience ever.
It looks pretty wild.
Yep. Changing gears, ripping. It's a lot of work to run that car, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome, though. When it works, it is just the best.
Yeah, I'm sure it feels... Because so much... I love when people discount drag racing because they're like, hold your ghost pedal down. And I'm like, you're showing your ignorance there pretty deep.
Yeah. I mean, drag racing is pretty easy, but when you get into the stick stuff, there's a lot of pilot error to be had.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of stuff going on.
It makes it a lot more fun, I think. Like the El Camino... Anyone could run a 7 in that thing. It's so well set up. You freaking let off that button and she's going. But the stick cars that they bring back that you got to be a good driver.
I like when you let that was one of my favorite videos when you let everybody drive the Ruby when it was going
Yeah,
like
like Taylor and all those dudes.
My favorite part is the converter would come up and they're also not used to a big auto like that.
Yeah,
They all 1-2'd like 100 feet out.
Oh, I know. Amazing how good those transmissions are. I mean, it's just like, whatever. Okay, here we go.
The converter is just like, okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah. It's outrageous how good a Power Glide is. Blows my mind.
So that's your favorite. And then the other side of that question is, which car has been the biggest pain in the ass?
Toast, for sure. Yeah. For the most, being the most worked on for least return in terms of seat time, Toast. Wow. Yeah. Done a lot more wrenching than ripping.
I saw just the other day you're like ready to do a burnout and have no fuel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
It's
just like everything. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe we were caught off guard because we know nothing about mechanical fuel injection.
It's tough.
But
I've only done a few mechanical cars on the dyno, and just listening to how people talk about them and set them up it's cool for sure. But I'm like, oh, I just want a laptop.
I know. You literally cannot beat a Holly on a car, to me. Like, she's just like, poop, especially when you're online making changes and the car is instantly reacting.
Yeah.
I love that. I'll never forget one time me and Brent were driving down the road. We were having fuel trim issues with Leroy. And we're like on the freaking highway when we hit this bridge gap. And Brent had like 7 in the cell. He was trying to like blend something.
He
hit enter and just zeroed the whole fuel map, and the car's like shuts off. And then it's like when he hit,
he
Command
interpolated
Z.
it quick, or he did Control Z and brought it back.
Yeah, like zeroed the whole map, and then hit Control Z, and so the car's like, and I was like, whoa! Holly computers to me are the best, like Game Boys. Yep. You just.
We call that, the Terminator, we call that Game Boy tune, because I have people that come to the dyno and they just did a Game Boy tune and they drove to the dyno. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, no one else has that. It's so difficult to
amazing.
Do that.
Yep.
And then this is a good one because you brought up Leroy was your favorite. So I'm glad this question's next because I forgot to ask it when you talked about the stick racing. And it says, would you ever put a Liberty in Leroy?
Well, a Liberty is not age pattern.
Nope.
Am I right?
Nope.
Then no.
It's got a gravity gate and you go back and forth.
Yeah, you're talking like pro stock style.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. There's no difference between. I mean, if you can't miss a shift, then it just doesn't. It's not a true stick car.
Yeah. After you said that you like driving it like that so much, I figured you wouldn't come off H pattern.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all the rules for those stick stuff's gotta be H. I think there's some guys out there that have some questionable H pattern transmissions, like the
they
G101A.
Probably have a lockout. You can do.
The G101A though, like.
No.
Oh, I think so. The G-Force G101A. I think you can get the shifter in 2 different formats. You can do like Liberty style gravity deal, and it looks like H when it's going back and forth. And I'm like, man, I don't. Yeah, and a lot of these guys have them. I wonder if there's got to be someone out there that's been sliding under the radar. Because I don't think the tech guys wiggle the shifter. You know what
I mean? What was the one that was here that someone asked what happened to the fuel cell in the Crown Vic?
Oh, when I wall tapped it, it just
split it.
It just shifted and split it. Yeah.
Sucks. I saw that. You guys, it was so funny. In the video, you're like, can everyone step back? And they're all like laughing, and you're like, no, there's literally fuel. The whole car is hot as hell from doing a burnout.
Yeah, no, they're just like, no, we're good. I'm like, well, can't argue with a bunch of Texans. Whatever.
That's what I always. It's sad, but it's funny when you're like, please do not knock on our toter home.
Dude.
Please do not come in the Freedom Factory. I never thought I'd have to say this out loud, but now I do.
The Freedom Factory I get, like, you know, that place is freaking badass. I would break in there. In fact, I have broken in there. When I was closing on the property and the guy wouldn't give me the keys, I went in there to look at some stuff. But it's hard. I guess it's also hard to understand that the toter home's like our house when it's on the road. So
yeah,
different perspective for us than it is for some people. But like, dude, just the other day, even after I made the post, we're at the truck stop and this guy's just pounding on the door. And I'm just like, I'm like, bro, tell me this guy is just telling us something about the motorhome. Like, you know, because sometimes you'll get like, hey, you're leaking something, or hey, your door is open. And I instantly could just tell by the guy's vibe, like he just wanted to chat, whatever. But he's like pounding on the door. I open the door. He's just like, doesn't say, hey, what's up? How's it going? He goes, hey, bro, I got to get a picture with you. And like, I'm cool with getting a picture, but like, some of these guys are so freaking rude. But I don't want to get into it. It's just the best thing in that situation is just hop out, snag the picture with them,
then they
get
go.
them on their way. Yeah, and just get them on their way. Because it's just a few seconds.
Oh yeah, this is one I was talking to Cameron about this the other day. Is Ruby still on Terminator?
Ruby's still on Terminator, dude.
Yep.
Her days are numbered. You know, she had a pretty ferocious backfire the other day, and not sure who's to blame on that deal, whether it's the crank sensor or the computer. I don't know if you've ever experienced the deal where the data log is like, you know, doing its thing, and then all of a sudden it's like
Zero?
frozen for a split second, and then everything goes back to normal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I could send you a log.
Maybe you were. I have seen, even on a Dominator car, on one of my friend's cars, where it was just so fast. It was a 760 car also.
Yeah.
That it ran into crank pickup issues, and he had to go to a flying magnet.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we have faster cars.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And they have stock crank position sensors for LS, right?
Yeah.
Stock location and 58 tooth, right?
Yeah. I think it's time for a Dominator for Ruby, because honestly, like, you know, a lot of missed data logs, like you just come back and there's nothing on the memory card.
Yeah,
we have
I've seen that happen sometimes.
And to be fair, we have like one of the first Terminator kits ever made. Like, we got the Terminators before the public did.
Yeah.
And so we have one of the first kits to ever hit the ground, and we've never once updated the firmware. Like, it literally has the OG Terminator.
It has like 101 on it. That's incredible.
Yes. No, it has the OG one. So like, when I got a new tuning laptop and I'm like trying to find the software, and there was just nothing. Like, I could not even find the old term. James found it on a forum link. So I
have all the old and new stuff. I keep it because I'm an IT guy, so I keep everything because I'm used to upgrades not working.
Yeah, we have one computer that can tune Ruby, so
you can actually use both pieces of software at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. You can actually. What did you say?
I have version 1 and 2 on my laptop at the same time. No problem.
Oh yeah, I have that too.
Okay, yeah. And you can even, I mean, if you really wanted to get granular, you could keep like 101, 110, and 120 as separate executables.
Download one, yeah.
But it gets ridiculous at that point. Yeah, you guys should try dumping like 270 on it and upgrading the tune and see if it stops doing that dumb shit.
That might not be a bad idea. But like, honestly, the data logging thing is the biggest thing for me. Like, the memory card and the screen drives me crazy. I would love to just have
internal log, yeah.
Yeah, internal log is so worth it.
That's the whole price difference there and then to add 75 sensors would be nice, right?
Yeah, I mean, that car has like nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's a Terminator car. It only has 4 in and out, and it already has like a brake. And does it bump through the Terminator, or do you have an external?
No, we got a Davis box on it.
Probably because you adjust it, or just why even wire it in?
I don't know.
It has.
It was my first car with a trans brake, so I bought the bump box.
Ah, yes.
Now I know, you can do it with relays and stuff, but The bum box is nice. You can just like reach in the glove box and turn it a click if you need to.
Yep, that's what I meant. External adjustment is really nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which of course you could make your own, but that's complicated. That's Kevin Smith territory.
Yeah. Oh, Cameron Vick is here.
Nice.
He has arrived.
That's got to be a Terminator record. Yeah, 480s.
Oh, would you ever do a Cleetus and Cars event outside of the USA?
Yeah, I would totally do one in Australia. We actually had planned to do one in Australia, but the old coronavirus put that on hold. I would think it'll still happen, but it would be Australia first. And then we talked about doing one in the UK with this random place that Kyle Loftus was getting us connected with, but that all just kind of fell through the cracks.
Is Houston shutting down any plans on relocating to another track in Texas for Cletus and Cars?
Yep, we're working on that.
Oh, people were talking about Neighbor being your most reliable badass car ever.
Yep, Ford power, brother.
I love that one video where you lock up the blower. You're like, blower locked up. And then everyone's like, oh no. And you're like, just let it cool off. It'll start again. It'll be
It's incredible. Imagine one belt stopping a 1,000 horsepower engine, right? Because the blower seizes and then that belt is just
that crank to a halt.
Just bringing the motor down, brother. And then all of a sudden
on.
she just, I mean, shout out to VMP. The car's only thrown the belt one time ever when James was driving it.
Of course, James.
It was his wedding burnout, and he just like drove the thing up in the limiter. Because there's a huge difference between being on the rev limiter and having the throttle body wide open into the rev limiter. Like if you'll hear my burnouts with Neighbor, like right there
into it. Yeah.
I mean, if you floor that thing, I bet you that motor would blow up in 10 seconds or less. It would just snap a chain. Like it is insane. I've only heard it do it one time because it was James doing it. He's never done a burnout in the car, and he just throttle bladed it. Actually, I've heard it twice. Leo from Side by Side Blog did it. But I mean, it sounds so bad. You can almost hear the chain stretching from where you are.
Any chance Leroy would get a body or something to go faster for aerodynamics?
Yeah, dude, I tried to find someone to build me like a funny car body. Fell through. No one did. No one could find it. I mean, everyone's like, my buddy will make you one, but if I'm gonna freaking do it, I would like it to be like really sick. So how cool would that be if Leroy had a hinge on the back and the whole body just
lift off.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Old school style.
Like literally a funny car.
Yeah.
I was like, someone mold me a C5 and then I'll figure out mounting it, and that's it.
You should get like gas struts for it and have an electronic, like pull a cable release and the front end just comes off.
It'd be so sick. I don't even think it'd be that hard.
What about a subscriber giveaway for a McFarland turbo kit?
Dude, that would be super funny. We come in and weld a turbo kit onto your car. Just a trash turbo kit.
Get sued immediately.
I mean, Ty counts now, right? He's part of McFarland Fabrication. So maybe I'll just tack some stuff together and we'll let him finish it. He does some really nice stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that guy. Rock star. Oh, this is. Do you see any of these that interest you? This is neat. Did your relationship with Summit change after you became part owner of Motion, or did it get awkward?
No, they were warned about the whole deal and everything, because I didn't want to
blindside them.
I didn't want to tell them hey, sponsor this event, and then be like, hey, yeah. So a lot of people. It's easy to think that Summit and Motion are similar companies, but they're really not. Summit does have their own line of products, but majority of what Summit does is distributing car parts. They could very well sell Motion Raceworks parts one day, I don't know, but Summit is like just a whole nother level, you know. So
Yeah, I would say that they're both different too.
yeah, they do
My
have some
understanding.
similar stuff, like, you know, some, I'm sure there's some, but I mean, there really isn't now that I think about it. Like, what does Summit make that Motion Raceworks makes?
Yeah.
Summit's got their own cams, turbos, things like that coming out, but I don't think there's really much like billet niche parts.
No.
So yeah, they were super cool about it. I basically just said, hey, this is what we're doing. And they were like, that's, you know, so great. And those guys are so supportive of what we do, which is just so cool, because I never thought in a million years Summit Racing would be like, let's sponsor these hooligans while they build their race cars. But man, like, they're amazing. Like, they got on board with Lay Mullets, Burnout Rivals. They're like, whatever. We have a van that they let us do whatever we want with. We freaking chopped the roof off the other day, and they're like, hell yeah. They're
They've
awesome.
been good to me too, and I have no idea why.
I mean, they're just smart. Like, they're taking care of the people who can use their stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, we show that to the world. And honestly, their overnight shipping is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you can order anything at before 7 p.m. here, and we can have it in the morning.
That's disgusting. That's
It's
so
incredible.
cool.
I don't know if you have a warehouse near you. We have one in Georgia, though, and it can be here in the morning.
Oh.
As long as we order before 7.
Ohio is next door to me, so I'm sure it would be the same scenario.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Everyone's asking why you hate Cooper, which I know isn't true. I just saw a picture of you guys all together. I see it all the time.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was with him tonight. So
Everyone's all in their feels about it, but he does his own thing. It's pretty clear.
exactly, man. You know,
He
that's
he was just at your drift event and your burnout event and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. People can say what they want. It's all good, you know. But
I like
as
Cooper.
life goes on, you know, people will be around more and less, and you know, it's how life goes.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's funny. I like how someone said he's quirky, and
Yeah,
like
Cooper
that.
has like his own way of just thinking and operating. That's like no other, you know.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like
Oh god.
2J Camaro, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like
No, yeah.
he's totally.
That's why he left, because you guys were doing too much LS stuff. He's like, I'm out of here.
Probably, yeah.
I'm
He's
outta
like, all right,
here.
another turbo LS.
And then he
So,
bought that
all right.
mystery machine, rotary.
Yeah. So, dude, the mystery machine's not looking good these days. Brent hit the wall with it the other day. I don't know if you
I
saw
saw
that.
how rough it looks. It's great.
He's like, I'm gonna pull it out and get it fixed. He's like, I'm gonna take it to a frame shop. I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, we probably just need to find a new van. That thing's
this
pretty
point.
smoked. So,
Kind of like the Marauder. What? Oh, well, we talked about that. That was the Marauder problem. I think that was an air pressure in your tire issue.
which one?
The Marauder, where it would pop on the 1.2.
Oh,
I think it was because you didn't have nitrogen in your tires. You had actual air in them or something.
yeah, that was a problem. Fix that
No, I
quick.
think it was your AC. You said in the video.
AC was overcharged. You know, I think it might have been a crank sensor issue. So.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Every now
Put a
and
new
then that
crank
seems to
sensor in
pop
it, but
up.
I haven't ripped it yet. So
That stock ECU, Marauder ECU, sometimes has
couldn't handle it. Yeah,
It's very sensitive
touchy.
with crank sensor issues. I haven't had the problem, but I'm good luck. So
yeah.
what is this? There's another question here. Whoop. Oh, this is cool. This is nice. Thanks for being such a positive influence in the car community. You seem like the coolest, nicest guy in the shows and your videos. Totally true.
What a nice guy.
Very
Appreciate you.
diplomatic, Mr. Cleeter.
Appreciate you. Got it from my parents.
Well, yeah, after I saw how like you handle people and you never throw people under the bus and everything else, I'm like, well, that was a very that was definitely nurture and nature more than likely both, you know?
Yeah, my parents are freaking definitely taught me to try and treat people the way you want to be treated.
Oh, this is good. Do you edit all your own videos, and how the hell do you have time for that?
Yeah, I have edited every single video that is on the channel.
Obviously, you must be good at it.
I guess Crispy from Project Prime has put together a couple.
Hmm.
Like we did like that off-road race and the car challenge. He's edited a couple, but like hand in hand, like I was there before the export and changing stuff. But yeah, I've exported every video that's ever been on the channel. Probably stupid of me to not have an editor. But like you when you put it on there, you know what you're delivering to your audience. And that's just one of my things I've really held on to. And our videos are really easy to make. There's some that are difficult, like the race day ones when there's 3 cars running, 3 angles, 3 GoPros, 3 dudes filming.
Video,
Yeah, because we all use iPhones. So everyone's just getting videos from every direction. You pull it into the timeline, and it's like 4 hours. I'm like, that's a lot of work. But
a lot of it can get cut quick.
a normal vlog on the shop is like freaking, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half deal from start to uploaded.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things I like to see, because all the YouTubers have like a $6,000 DSLR and a dead cat on top of it and a thing to hold it. And they're still everything's out of focus the whole time anyway. Yeah, like the giant road with the raccoon shoved over it for wind noise. And I love, like, in a reflection, I see you just holding your iPhone. Because I tell people all the time, they're like, I got to buy video equipment. And I'm like, you have a phone? Shoot it with your phone.
iPhone is the most advanced piece of technology you can get, I think.
Yeah, the audio and the video.
It's amazing.
Even a car, like, you can go from talking to having 1,000 horsepower car blast, and there's no audio equalization issues.
The only thing it's bad about is when a loud car turns off. There's like 7 seconds of like
till it comes back down on the mic.
Yeah. I honestly used a GoPro that I had a GoPro on a stick that was like the first 4 years of YouTube. Only within the last maybe year and a half did I switch because they just, I don't know, they're so good. And Cody Whistling Diesel, I saw that he only used iPhone stuff. I was like, maybe I should give my iPhone a little more love. And I started using it. I was like, man, this is better, honestly.
Yeah, you never have to carry stuff then, too.
Yeah, you always have your camera with you.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I found out, too, is if I'm at, like, the dyno and I'm busy and I do, like, 3 cars in a row and I miss a lot, the people that are there have iPhones. I'm like, hey, airdrop me all your video and pictures. And
it's incredible.
3 gigabit of high definition video in 4 seconds, done.
See, I thought you were an Android guy. Did you just recently switch?
No, I've had it forever.
Maybe it's Cameron.
No, he's I got him on the Apple train a while ago also.
Yeah, he might have been. I think he was an Android guy. One of you guys were, and I was like, can't text this guy. It's green.
It's funny about that, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's such a
he goes, bro, blue for life.
a phone racist thing, but whatever. It's true.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll send you a video. It's awful. You're like, oh no.
Like, iPhone makes the experience so horrendous for texting Android users.
Yeah,
they
purposely do it.
Oh my gosh, it's brilliant.
That's Steve Jobs. Oh, this is a good one. He says, Cletus, I've never stepped foot on a racetrack till I saw your videos. I saw you at World Cup a few years back.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Oh, well, I think you've already gone over 1 or 2 of these, but this is a good question. It says, what's your worst and craziest experiences with uninvited people at Freedom Factory? Is it like a 2 times a month thing, or is it all over? Or
I got one, but I don't think I can throw this guy.
I was going to say, you probably can't say. You don't want to, probably.
Let me think of one that's a little bit less spicy. This one's pretty. I mean, I'll give you like the dumbed down version of it, so I can't get back to the guy. But basically, this dude got through the gate. So the way the gate at the Freedom Factory is set up is you cannot, if you go in, you have to enter in a code to go in, and you have to enter in a code to go out, and they're different.
Oh.
So because we had people getting in and then getting back out. Mm-hmm. So The reason we do that is if they get in, then they're trapped, and we can say, like, get to them before they get out and say, did you steal something, or what's going on? What's the deal? Oh yeah, and I actually have a couple bad ones. So, but to finish the gate story, we had this guy get in and do some laps and try and leave, and we caught him at the gate. He's like, basically thought it was completely okay to pull in, get on the track, rip off a couple laps, and roll out. Like, I mean, he had he couldn't even fathom the fact that we were upset with him. Whatever, let him go.
This is public domain, right? This is a parking lot.
Yeah, the thing is, he was filming his own video. He's a YouTuber to a certain scale.
He was playing dumb then. I don't think he was genuinely.
Oh no, dude! This guy was 100. I mean, like,
absolutely.
If I told you the name of the guy, you'd look up his channel, and you would understand. That's not a problem. But I just, it's not worth giving the guy the time of day. So, whatever. But I have a thing on my phone that sends me alerts, like on the camera see movement, and so during certain times, like, it shuts off during the day when all the guys are there. But this is before we had the big gate, and I'm driving to the track literally from my old house, so it's like an hour away, and I just get this notification there's a guy walking around on the track, and I'm like, who the hell is this? So I'm pulling into the track, and there's this guy getting into his car at the gate. He basically had jumped the old gate, walked all the way up to the track, and he's walking around on the track. And so I pull up in front of him, and I'm like, hey, man, did you jump our gate? And he's like, no. He's like, but I'm a huge fan. Like, I want to get a picture or whatever. I'm like, you did jump our gate. I'm like, this is a picture of you in the track.
Yeah.
And he's just instantly like, F you, dude. I can do whatever I want.
Wow.
Like, just takes the wrong road. And so I'm like, all right, dude, well, just leave, please. And he's like, I don't have to leave. I can be here if I want. I'm like, that whole deal. So that was a really bad experience. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty good. We had those kids break in right when we bought it and just like tore a bunch of crap up, blew off fire extinguishers in some buildings. But not too bad. Now it's the people's track, man. Like, event's over. There's no trash in the bleachers.
Yeah, I saw you saying that. That's incredible. Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, this guy says, great guest and stream. Keep doing what you're doing, Sloppy and Cleeter.
Nice guy.
I'm going through looking for people that. Well, this was a good one. Asked earlier. It says, how did you meet James and Cooper?
Met Cooper in college, and I met James. It's crazy because when I started Cleetus cars, James came to the first event, and then I put a freaking post on Facebook looking for a mechanic, specifically one that can do wiring, because I'm so bad at wiring. I did all the work on Leroy before with Jeremy and his guys, but I did like the majority of it, and they'd kind of help me. So I'm like, all right, I need a mechanic who can do some wiring because I'm trash at wiring. None of Jeremy's guys want to help me. So James, of all people, hits me up. He's one of the only guys who hit me up. I mean, a couple people did. It was like around 200,000, 300,000 subs, and we or no, it was I had more than that. But basically, he came in and like he was super cool, fit in, and just started working. But now looking back on it, like, James is not a wiring guy, so I find it so funny. Like, he'll wire if he absolutely has to.
Yeah.
And he's going to make that shit work. He's not going to make it pretty unless it's his own car. Like, his cars have nice wiring, but, we build our cars so fast with no regard to how it looks. So he's just not a wiring guy, so it's funny. Zach is a wiring guy. I'm really excited that Zach works for us now because he loves wiring.
Oh, this is funny. One When's the wedding, and is it going to be at the Freedom Factory?
Yeah. The wedding is soon, and it will not be at the Freedom Factory. Because, and at first we were both like gung ho, like, let's do it at the Freedom Factory. But the problem is, like, I won't be able to disconnect if we do it at the track, because all my friends will want to do like reckless stuff, which is fine. But like, I also
not
want
just your event,
I also want Maddie to have a really good, fun wedding. So we're doing it at a venue that we can walk away from the next day. We don't have to come back and clean up our mess, and it'll be great.
Yeah, no kidding. The disconnect would be nice. That's probably tough sometimes. I'm sure you just nonstop or working on stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge shithole, for lack of a better word. So it's like you're constantly dealing with crazy stuff. Like, we just had lightning strike our new lighting system, and getting that repaired
at the track.
Yep.
Wow, all those new lights and LEDs and everything.
No, it's really well set up now, and they have a 10-year warranty. So none of the main fixtures got damaged. It just blew all the fuses on one sector. So we should have had fuses, but we're getting some this week. So it's all good. Now we know. Now we keep fuses in stock.
There's a guy always on every single one of these, and he asks the funniest questions, and some of them are relevant and some are not. Some are great, and then some are like, can you find the biggest hammer in your shop and show it to us? Stuff like that. He's so funny. Potato R33, if you see him in the chat.
Yeah, I see him asking what my favorite hot sauce is.
What I like is, because there'll be a bunch of like serious and automotive questions, and then there's like, he asks about hot sauce and other stuff. It's like a nice breakup,
Yeah. Well, it's nice. My favorite hot sauce is Asian Zing from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, someone asked, it totally shocks my memory back to, someone asked, have you ever had, someone makes buffalo wings with a Mountain Dew flavor?
I've seen that. Never had it. Never had it.
Oh, everyone always asks this every time. What's your preferred pizza and ice cream flavor?
Pizza, probably sausage. Ice cream, mint chip.
Well, that's a good one. Where did Cletus come from?
Kyle Loftus.
Oh, he said this is your name?
Yeah, we were making a funny video, and I was like, we're trying to come up with, I was like, it was like a skit I did in front of Tom Bailey's car, and I was like, call me Dale McFarland. He's like, all right. And he's like, all right, go. And he starts recording. He's like, so we're here with Cletus McFarland. And that was it. That was the first time I'd ever said.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
He said he would do a show too, but again, it's just nailing him down. He's like, I'm busy till whatever, just like you said.
I know. Yeah.
I can't even believe you're here right now.
Dude, I looked at my messages. I never, like, all my notifications are off for Facebook.
Yeah.
So I don't see my messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And I logged in today for something. And I saw our thread, and I was like, oh shit, I better see what day that is. And I was like, oh shit, it's tonight. But I mean, my alarm would have gone off on my phone, like my calendar thing, but it only would have gone off an hour before. So I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, I was never going to hold you to it because I know you were just getting back from everything else. So,
no, it's all good. I wanted to do it. I just getting.
It was funny at like 3 p.m. You're like, hey, is that today? I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Here we are. We made it happen.
Do you recommend that everybody puts a lawnmower in their boss's ZR1?
Mm-hmm. Paid off well. Definitely highly recommend.
10 out of 10 would come again.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Potato earlier asked, what is your car philosophy that you're trying to share with the world?
Oof.
I think you went over it pretty good where we talked about, the car culture and improving it and bringing it back and changing it up and making it accessible to everybody. And
I don't know if that's like isn't a philosophy.
yeah, I don't know. He might mean a bunch of things by that. Like, what do you want people to take away from what you do?
Yeah, I think I wish it was more of a I guess like thesis that you can do more with less. Like I always try and get people to join the burnout contest. They're always like, "Oh, I'm going to build a burnout car." Like, dude, just buy something that runs and bring it.
Yeah.
So I wish I pitched more of that, but I mean, can't deny the fact that some of our cars have a lot invested in them.
Yeah.
So, I like to pitch you can do a lot with less, but at the same time, you just can't do what these people want us to see us do with cheap shit anymore. Like, yeah, you can run a 7 on stock bottom end motor. Absolutely. Try doing it 5 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think my philosophy, if I could, I want to share with the world that there's a lot of options in cars out there and you can do so much with them.
Is the deer still in your shop? That's a good question.
Dude, I'm pretty sure the deer died. James claims he saw the deer on the side of the road being eaten by turkey vultures. But I didn't get to see him, so I don't know. He may appear one day.
He was so funny how you're like, oh, this deer is so nice. He puts down his horns and goes for your groin, and you're like, bro.
I know, dude. He's an elusive creature. He's kind of like a creepy old man. Like, literally, we're standing in the shop, and like, I can just hear breathing, and I turn around, he's just behind me. I'm like, dude, what the frick? I'm like, the deer's back. And then he would chase me. Like, all he wanted to do is, like, at a fast pace, just walk behind me.
Was it you?
Just just me.
I mean, you're the tallest there, right?
I don't know. Maybe he saw me as a threat, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't attack anybody else. He eyeballed Doug, but that was it.
You should have headbutted him into the ground, and then he would have taken it as a win.
Dude, I mean, there was a couple times. There was a couple times when he was like walking at me, and I like did the whole like run back at him, like put my arms up like you're supposed to do to a bear.
Yeah.
Didn't stop him, dude.
He didn't care.
No. And then I ended up running away.
Oh man, what a hard ass that deer is.
Dude, he was a total hard ass.
He's like he's been to jail a few times. He knew you weren't going to do anything.
The only thing that scared the shit out of him was firing toast up. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Maybe that's what made him run into the road and get hit, and then the vultures got him.
I know he was there the following day because the girls in our merch room said that he was standing outside the windows looking at them. And this goes more into the creepy old man. But after that, we came back from Houston, and James says he witnessed the old deer on the side of the road.
This guy said, yeah, that might make sense too. He says that I bet the deer had chronic wasting. I was thinking maybe it had an issue also because it was just around people.
Yeah.
Something wrong with it.
I think a lot of people were saying CMD, but like, I don't think he had CMD. I think he maybe was struck by a vehicle previously in the day.
In shock or something weird.
And was in shock. But the thing was, like, dude, he was pretty dialed in. Like, he knew what was going on.
So strange. So strange. It looks like a clickbait thing until the deer is in the video, like, repeatedly trying to warn you.
Part of me thought that he was maybe hit by a car and the fear part of his brain had been deactivated. So.
That makes sense. Yeah, because he had that thing on his like right back.
Yeah, there's no CM. Apparently, there's no CMD in or CWD in Florida. That's what they say. But
someone says you should have peed on him to assert dominance.
F's in the chat for the deer right now, dude. RIP, freaking motion the deer, dude. 2020 to 2021.
F's in the chat. Oh boy. Thanks for stopping by my deer talk.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by our deer podcast. Well, I'll probably call it, man. I'm gonna go eat some chocolate chip cookies and pass out.
I'm sure you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. I don't think we've ever gotten to talk for this long. So
No, just I make fun of you when you're driving a car through the pits like Kyle.
yep.
That kind of
Actually,
I
I'll
was
see you at GTR World Cup in a couple months.
Yeah, I think I was pretty nice the last time. You got to see my little guy.
Yep. We got to see little Sloppy.
All right, well, enjoy your cookies. I'll send you some of this money so you can buy more.
Don't send me any of it. Don't buy some sort of cheap turbo and try and break it. I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe let's use it as a fund for George's next Amazonian turbo.
There we go. We'll support George's turbo habit.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.